What do you miss about high school? It's very strange to see one of your best friends at a Super Bowl party and realize the last time you hung out was the last Super Bowl party. I moved every 2 to 4 years growing up, so this kind of separation from friends was normal for me. What I miss was the tight communities of the schools I attended. Yeah, I get this feeling when I text them happy birthday, only to see the last time we had talked was last year's happy birthday text. Wait a second. I'm sure your birthday would have come between your friend's 2 birthdays, unless you're born on the 29th of Feb. So shouldn't your last conversation be him/her wishing you a happy birthday? Unless you have told your friend before that you don't like birthday wishes, in which case he/she is probably a good friend after all. Either way, this is really stupid and I should not post it, but I'll do it anyways because I need resolution, goddammit. I often find myself remembering people that I interacted with daily when I was in high school that I have forgotten simply because I'm not put in the same room as them every day. It makes me wonder who I truly liked vs who I spent time with simply out of proximity and necessity. If you're like me and have been through tons of jobs after HS, you realize this happens everywhere. Certain coworkers I keep in touch with even after either one of us leaves. Others were nice acquaintances but easily forgotten. I've been working since I was 16 and am 25 now, so this is only 9 years to work with, but in that time I've made only one work friend I would have considered to truly be a friend of mine. So I thought, at least. He quit his job and moved to California to live closer to family and unfriended me and all of his coworkers on Facebook and never responded to another text after that day. His time here, Wisconsin, was not the best. He had a bad breakup and no other particularly good memories other than that relationship, so I understand the desire to start fresh and leave it all behind, but it absolutely bummed me out to realize I meant so little to him when I thought so highly of him myself. My high school best friend, who I still regularly hang out with, yay. And I spent a solid 20 minutes today trying to figure out who this person she was friends with on Facebook was. She went to our high school, had loads of mutual friends with us, and my friend doesn't accept friend requests from people she doesn't know, so we must have known her at some point. She looked vaguely familiar, but I still have no clue who she is or how we know her. Weird how that happens. Edit. Just to dispel some ideas in the comments, here's some extra info. She has profile pictures going back with her boyfriend, husband, many years, and they're all pretty low quality, so it's not like she stripped them from a model or something. Also, like, no offense to her, but she isn't a model. Her posting history isn't sketchy at all. She recently posted a pregnancy announcement. Good for her. That also means she probably isn't trans, although we can entirely rule it out, I guess. When I say my friend doesn't accept requests from people she doesn't know, I mean she doesn't accept friend requests from people she doesn't know. I think her and this girl became Facebook friends back in high school, and now she's forgotten who she is. One of their mutual friends is our high school orchestra teacher, who had a really strict policy about who he would accept friend requests from on Facebook. So, once again, probably a real person. We aren't supposed to live this way. For most of human history we lived in tight-knit bands and tribes. Relationships were lifelong and critical. The modern economy fragments friends and loved ones into loose, isolated networks. My parents live 100 miles away. My brother 50. My best friend across the country. I've lived in this location for almost 2 years and I can't recall a single person by name within 40 miles. Outside of work, almost everyone I interact with on a day-to-day basis is a perfect stranger. Kids in high school get some semblance of community, as artificial as it may be, that I miss above all else. I've managed to stay really close with my 3 closest high school friends, even though we each live 3 to 5 hours away from each other. There's a few others in a general group, a couple other friends plus spouses, that pop in and out, but our core 4 is really tight. We're in a group chat and talk every day. We get together a couple times a year at least for general shenanigans. I've actually had quite a few people my age ask me how I managed to keep a close group for so long that communicates so often. I tell them it involves quite a few things, but they all relate to effort. Sometimes I respond to the chat, even when I'm not totally feeling like it. Sometimes I agree to go visit one of them for the weekend, even when I'm not totally feeling like it. Two of them have kids, but they still have me over, and I still go knowing the kids are gonna be throwing fits and being kids. Sometimes it involves putting my life on hold for a few minutes to chat, or a few days to spend quality time. But I don't mind it, because they all do the exact same things for me, except I don't have kids yet. The people asking me how I do it usually check out when I give them that answer. Edit. Sure, there are some people that can go months/years without talking and pick up right where you left off. However, that's not how it works with most people. If so, more people would have friends like that. I'm sure my friends and I could do something similar and be fine, but we don't even want to. Sweater. Not gonna lie, I was expecting Loch Ness Monster or 1998 Hell in a Cell at the end there. I skipped right to the end when I realized how long and eloquent the post was. Glad it was legit. Beautiful read. Made me tear up thinking of my childhood and reminiscing of my younger years. I remember one night my senior year of college. I was the risk manager of my fraternity for the last 2 years. I spent countless nights drinking and messing around, building bonds unlike any others. I sat there in the downstairs living room of the fraternity house. It was during the week. The house was quiet, but it had remnants of the weekend. I sat on this stained, ripped couch with tan leather. The carpet was utterly disgusting, and a poorly cleaned kitchen was across the room. Our house dog, Peach, was beside me. She was a thick pink-nosed pit bull, sweet as hell and dumb as a box of rocks. I loved her. Peach and I sat there, and I reflected. I was amazed at the wanderlust of my high school and college years. It's truly sad that I've grown up now and live a life of responsibility. The responsibility and pressures to succeed and provide are incredibly strong. I never knew life would evolve into 90% of my time belonging to other people when I lived such a free life for so many years. Ugh, I just get bothered thinking about it. My life is fine now, but what a contrast it is now to what it was. It feels like it was a dream. I need a vacation. The ability to be naive about how the world really works sure doesn't stop a lot of adults today. Not having many responsibilities. I feel more free now. Yes, there are jobs to do and bills to pay, but I'm in control. If I don't want to do something, no one can make me. If I want to stick a cucumber up my ass, my parents have little control over it. I'm not sure what kind of house you grew up in, but sticking a cucumber up my ass was something my parents have always had little control over. I'm not talking about in the house. I'm talking publicly. Those people stopping you weren't your parents. Those desks where the chair was attached. I could crack my back so good with those things. I miss being able to do that regularly. Now when I try to crack my back on a chair I just end up pulling something. Get one of those foam rollers. It requires being able to lay on the floor, but worth it to be able to massage your back and pop it. Also take up yoga if your back and joints are bothering you. A lot of everyday soreness is because of insufficient exercise, lack of stretching, and dehydration. Even learning how to the basic sun salutation can really help with soreness. I miss being able to laugh and joke during class without a care in the world. Seriously the best. Those times you just crack up during class. Now in uni having those times when you laugh good in class are rare. Last semester of my degree was full of laughter. Class sizes were small. We had all made it through hell, and the professors knew it. Yeah, actually I just realized that the more into my degree I am, the better it is. Still, something about laughing about stupid shit in HS is very reminiscent of carefree times. All of my close family being alive. Open bracket. Damn. Now I'm sad. Seeing my best friend. I always had at least one class with her. She committed suicide the summer before my sophomore year of college. She had so many plans for her future. She was my biggest supporter. She always believed in me. It's been 2 years since the night I found out, but I can't remember a day in these last 2 years I haven't thought about her. There's nothing I wouldn't do to see her smile one more time, to feel her hug one more time, to hear her laugh one more time. One more second is all I'd need. Damn, that's tough. Internet hug. I had so much hope for the future. I could enjoy the here and now without letting the bad things get to me too much, because I knew that high school was only a small part of my life. Didn't have money? No problem. I'll have more when I get older. No girlfriend? No problem. I've still got plenty of time to find the one. Looking back, I can see that teenage Tubba thought that life would just happen to me. Ignorance was bliss, but now I'm paying for it. I miss Brenda. She wasn't into me or anything. She had a boyfriend, but she would talk to me sometimes when we were finished with track practice and I was waiting for the bus and she was waiting for her ride. She talked a mile a minute and said whatever was on her mind, and I found her delightful. We talked to each other at track and cross country meets too. I remember one time we were talking at a cross country meet while it was pouring down rain, and for some reason she hugged me. I don't know why she did it, but it felt wonderful. Sometime during junior year, her boyfriend knocked her up. She finished junior year, took summer school to get enough credits to graduate, and the two of them went off to get married. I never saw her again. Sigh. It was so easy. I had a car my parents paid for, 0 bills. All the money I made was personal spending money. I had a constant group of friends to hang out with and went to school in one of the best areas of the city with tons of shops within walking distance. I was a privileged upper middle class kid and everything was ridiculously easy. High school was great. High school girls. Alright. Don't worry, they stay the same age. Absolutely nothing. My life has only improved since I graduated. Couldn't pay me to go back. Same. Have nightmares where I'm told I'm missing credits and was mistakenly passed. That as an adult I would have to go back and retake some classes. Truly dark dreams. I'm 32. All the same. For me, high school was no friends, constant bullying, having to deal with a severely abusive family, crippling poverty, no control over my own life or my own time, having to take responsibility for managing the entire family rather than just myself. Mom and siblings were too busy taking drugs to buy groceries or clean the apartment. Depression. My metabolism. I was way fatter in HS. Hard pass. Ham sandwiches with Lay's chips sprinkled in them. For those that say I could make them at home, it's not the same. Girls not having 9 kids when you ask them out. Nope. I miss nothing. Barely had any friends and college is a 1000% improvement. I'd never go back for anything. Seriously hope you're right. I'm going to university, but I'm worried because HS was men. Didn't integrate well the class. Lots of macro groups shot talking about each other. Was too late to join other clubs. Sucked. Athletics. But I both miss them and glad I'm done with them. High school was probably the last time we had organized sports games handed to us. Now, if you want a baseball game, you gotta get the players in the place ready, along with equipment. The thing I miss the most is being bored. IDK if teenagers currently even have this anymore. 5 to 6 kids sitting there trying to figure out what to do with themselves. Among our stupid ideas were trying to do skateboard / razor scooter tricks into a pool, blowing up a large ant's nest with kerosene, deciding to play 7 minutes in heaven with a definitely inadequate ratio of guys to girls, which led to some hurt feelings. But our collective imaginations got lazier once I got a car and we all just piled in there and loitered at the mall non-stop. Very underrated comment here. Hell, it changed a ton just with YouTube becoming big. Bought. Spend 4 hours before you know it watching random ass videos. I graduated nearly 10 years ago and it's crazy seeing how different kids' lives are now. I miss band. Specifically marching band. That shit was the only thing I looked forward to every single day. Some days I hated the directors in my section. Other days I felt like a fucking god after running a show. I miss being in the stand Thursday or Friday nights and trying to outplay each other. I miss that first downbeat of the drum major. I miss playing in the competitions. I live for that shit, man. I wouldn't go back, but I always go other ways to do that stuff. This is the comment I've been searching for the last 30 minutes of my life. I miss doing the competitions, the Friday nights spending too much money on stuff I didn't need, hanging with my friends, making fun of other people singing on the bus at 1 AM, doing that every week for half the school year for 4 years. I miss getting super sweaty after every run of the show, blasting my lips out just for fun, trying to play everybody around. I miss being my own French horn section for 2 years. I just miss band. They used to teach us lobster wasn't always a delicacy. It used to be prison food. God damn it. This is the reason I can't fall asleep. Cockroaches of the sea. It's leaking. No. Apparently that's why poorer people used hardwood floors, so the lobster could easily be cleaned. Carpet was for the rich. Honestly, fuck that shit. The only good things are no responsibilities and seeing friends every day. But once you remember the cliques, the bells, the busy work, the teacher who demands that you kiss his ass, and the general drama that accompanies being a teenager, you realize you're glad that that shit is over. Precisely. From the perspective, it may look nice, and having only homework to do seems better than having bills to pay and laundry to do. But being an adult, responsible for my own actions without anyone standing over my shoulder, no hormones fucking with my brain and body, no immature dramas you have to be in. Man, I wouldn't go back, not in a million years.